सुप्रभात। आ, और शाम को जब भी लोग ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं, सब लोग हम लोग बहुत एक्साइटेड हैं इस हिंदी एडिशन के लिए। हमारी ये थर्ड एडिशन है और हमारे पास बहुत कमाल के स्पीकर्स हैं। सबसे पहले हमारे जो स्पीकर्स हैं, कीनोट स्पीकर हैं, वो हैं दिलीप सिंह। और वो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट में काम करते हैं और वो बताएंगे लो कोड नो कोड सॉल्यूशन के बारे में। दिलीप प्लीज अपना प्रेजेंटेशन स्टार्ट करते हैं। थैंक यू।
Thanks, Haro. Hey everyone, my name is Dilip Singh. I'm a program manager at Microsoft. और आज मैं बात करूंगा कि why low code no code platform is a buzz right now. Like how can you use low code no code platform to enable digital transformation? I am hoping आप सब लोग मेरी screen देख सकते हैं अभी. Haro, can you confirm? You can see my screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Dilip.
Perfect. Cool. So, to get started, I think one of the key things whenever it comes for digital transformation or whenever it comes for low code, no code platform, the first question always asked is why? Why these platforms are important, right? So, one of the major reasons is now we live in like post-pandemic world. Last एक साल में बहुत कुछ change हुआ है. One of the key things which organizations also realize during this time is they have to accelerate digital transformation. They have to become online. They have to ensure that they can interact with their customers when they can't have physical interaction as well. So that's where like Forrester did a research which kind of gave very interesting stats. Like 65% of organizations want to achieve digital transformation, but they have a huge app backlog. Like they have to create so many applications, so many processes which are not digitized yet, and like they are really struggling on how to do it. 37% of these organizations have paper-based processes, like where people are physically like passing through papers, like doing signatures on it. All of that process are still paper-based, and as you know, like when customer has become online now in post-pandemic world, it is becoming increasingly difficult for these organizations to be able to do these process effectively. And then last but not least, like 69% of these organizations want to accelerate digital transformation. Like they want to ensure that whatever business processes they have, they are able to like transform it, use technology to enable these like as soon as possible. And like that's where they see low code no code platform coming in. Like when I look at like more stats, like more things which are happening around the world, demand of like creating applications, demand of digital processes is at an all-time high. Like Microsoft Research did this study where in next 5 years there are almost like 500 million new apps which will be built. Like this is way more than what was built in 40 years. Like since the time software started like becoming a thing, there are not many apps built in last 40 years as compared to what will be built in next 5 years, right? So which means there is like a huge effort everywhere around in order to like achieve that digital transformation, in order to go achieve digitization of the processes. So that's where like it becoming like increasingly important for organizations to go figure out how to do it. Now the worst problem, like the biggest problem in achieving like these 500 million apps or achieving those like 37% of processes which are paper based, like converting them into digital processes is very difficult when you just go by traditional app development. Like first and foremost, like there are not enough people. Like there is a very severe limitation on tech talent. Like there are just not enough people to be able to go build out these 500 million apps in next 5 years. Like when, or you also start building the software from ground up, when you are like, hey, I'm gonna go build this app, I'm gonna go set up a database, I'm gonna go set up like compute, and you try and do merge them together, like building software traditional style, it takes a lot of time, and most of this is not repeatable. Like you have to start with ground up like every single time. Cloud has made it easier in terms of hosting, but still you have to go stitch them all together. Still you have to design it, you have to make sure scalability, like all of those things are becoming critical and critical. There's so much digital demand around these, like there's so many requirements. A lot of these requirements like are very very agile. Like a lot of you might have worked on vaccine platforms, right? Like testing or vaccination or return to work, the requirements were changing literally every day. So that surging digital demand is very very hard to cope up in traditional app development environments. And last but not the least, when you have to build so many things in so small time, security and compliance risk are so difficult to manage. Like पिछले कुछ सालों में, like you guys might have seen, Europe brought in GDPR, California has like its own privacy law, there are so many different compliance requirements to meet. All of that becomes very very difficult when you are building all these apps from ground up, because first you have to understand like what these laws are, then you have to translate these in your apps, and this becomes increasingly expensive to go maintain. As law change, you have to change your apps as well, so that kind of becomes very very difficult. So that's where like all these problems, there's a huge demand, like a lot of organization want to achieve digitization, and like they're just not enough people to go build it. So that's where all the low code development platform comes in. That's where low code no code is becoming a thing. Like if you look at like the kind of scenarios as an organization which everyone focuses on today is sort of like bread and butter scenarios. Like people will build CRM system, ERP system, they're going to go like use what is available in the market, because most of these have like pre-built app, most of these are already solved problems. How there are like more than 1,000+ scenarios which are identified across organizations, but they're just not enough people to go build. Like those are the things which are made very very simple by low code development platform. Like that is where like low code and no code is kind of changing the world. And when it comes to benefit, like why people will do it, like why low code no code, right? Apart from, yes, fine, like we'll go figure out how to solve the people problem, we'll go figure out how to solve the process problem. The whole thing about low code app development platform is, a, you are able to go build apps way faster than what you can achieve before. So increase like the agility of development, that is one of the key reasons of why people use it. Like you are able to go build an app in like 24 hours compared to what would have taken like months to go build. With this speed, it also brings in savings, because you took less time to build, which means it's cheaper to go build these apps. You are utilizing most of cloud functionality, like your data is stored in cloud, your compute is running in cloud. All these platforms are usually SaaS oriented, which means they're going to obfuscate need of hosting like anything. All of that saves a lot of cost, like huge amount of cost. So all you're focusing on is like business process, all you're focusing on is these are the business requirements which I have to go build. I don't worry about how this thing is going to get packaged, where my data is stored. All I'm interacting with is all the development toolkit which the platform provides. And essentially, like when you're increasing the agility, when you're improving the speed, you are improving efficiency. Like one of the biggest challenge which everyone would have faced at one point of time while working on software is integrations are so difficult. That's why like historically the data has always lived in silos. Like you have one database storing something else, other storing something else, and it becomes like very very hard to go and integrate these into like a common thing to see the big picture. And that's what these like low code no code platform are making it super simple. We are ensuring that doesn't matter where your data lives, you are able to get like a consolidated view, which makes so much efficiency, which brings in so much efficiency into the processes that it really pays for itself. So that is one of the reasons why Gartner actually recently launched a study where they talk about, hey, by 2024 65% of all application development will actually be on low code no code platforms. And this is not because, hey, like this is a buzzword and everyone wants to try it out. This is because it gives you real ROI, it gives you real return on your investments. It makes processes faster, it makes your business process agile. So that's what is changing the world. Now, when we talk about, hey, like all this low code, no code app development platform, till now I've been saying platform because now we are coming to, hey, why Power Platform? Like, why, where does Microsoft comes into the picture? Where does Power Platform is coming into the picture to solve all these problems which we just talked about? So when we talk about Power Platform, so these are the four things which comes into it. So you have Power Apps, which is your application platform, which is where you are creating all these applications and creating the user experience which your users use. You have Power Automate, which basically ensures that whatever is being used in the app is connected, like integrated. So whether you are using an API based integration or you're using like robotic process automation, all of that is like created by Power Automate. Then you have our virtual agents, which is another way to create like conversation intelligence. Like that's where like the AI is coming into picture. It is ensuring that whatever you're building, you are being able to create a direct channel, right? Like your employees or your customers are able to interact with something in order to get their answers. And all of that data gets fed into Power BI. So Power BI comes and solves the problem of, hey, there are data silos and I don't know what's happening. Pump all your data into Power BI and analyze it, like get insight into your business processes, which helps you go make all of this efficient as well. And at the like the core of it, at the base of it, like you get AI builder, which is you take all these like tasks which are happening, like you have a form which people are uploading, you have a vaccine card which people are uploading, and you want to automate it. You want to automate those tasks, use like AI in order to go understand, hey, what that invoice is and what the value is filled in. All of that is made simple by AI builder in like click and like you just drag and drop and click, and that's how AI is going to go figure out what's there in that particular form. Similarly, Dataverse, like Dataverse solves your data storage problem, your data access problem. Dataverse like basically store not only like SQL data but also NoSQL data and provides your API layer. So you don't like all of your data. It's not only accessible through applications like Power Apps, but it is also accessible through API layer. And pretty much it obfuscates the need of, hey, you don't really care about where your data is stored, like how it is encrypted or which how it is scaling. All of that is taken care by Dataverse, like being the SaaS platform. And all you worry about is how do I model it, how do I transform into the business process which I want to go and improve. Data connectors brings in the whole capability of getting rid of data silos. Like you are able to get data from multiple data sources, mash it all into one, and either like automate the processes using Power Automate, analyze it using Power BI, use it in your conversation intelligence, or create applications on it. And last but not the least, like all the management tools, like pretty much an enterprise, like we are kind of in like a transformational phase for even low code, no code platform now, where enterprise IT is becoming like more and more active in low code, no code platforms. So that's where all the management tool, all the admin and governance capability of our platform is helping enterprise IT feel secure and feel confident that they can provide these tools to their users and ensure that like all the processes they are working on are secure, the data is like set up correctly, and they are like at peace that it is all compliant, it meets all the compliance requirements which they can have. So that's where like Power Platform is kind of taking the problem and ensuring that it's not only providing end user experience, but it is also providing an experience which is compliant, which is secure, um, which is meeting all the enterprise promises, what enterprise IT really requires. And that's where like you will always realize that when it comes to Power Platform, like there are three most important things. One is you can leverage data wherever it is present. Like you use the technology which you like, you use the data systems which you have, and we are able to go and integrate it all into the platform. It also empowers every developer. So it's not that you have to be a developer to go use these systems, this platform. You can be enthusiast, like you know Excel, you have played around with formulas, you can become a citizen developer. If you're a professional developer in your life, always lived in Visual Studio, VS Code, GitHub, ADO, like you can use that. if you are an IT developer and same tool set, like you can utilize here as well. And then the last term, and we're going to talk about it in the next slide as well, fusion teams. When you are using a combination of all these people in your organization in order to go take a business process and really, really solve it, like that's where like fusion teams comes in, and that's what platform enables as well. And then lastly, like whatever you're doing is to create solutions for your business challenges and to create solution in an agile manner, which means that whatever you are doing is not just a thing which can't be changed easily. If your business process change, you will be able to make quick updates to the application. That's what a low code, no code platform should really empower. And that's where Power Platform excels. And I was talking about fusion teams, and that is a very, very interesting concept. Like historically, all these applications were always built by people like who had development experience, right? Like everyone was a developer and they'll go build applications. But as I was saying, there is a very, very big shortage of people who can really do it well, which means as we go forward, like you will see that business and IT who were always at loggerhead before, now they're going to start talking together. They're going to start working together in fusion teams and go take that business process and solve it. So that is what we are envisioning as fusion teams. That's where like Power Platform is kind of like taking the lead on empowering fusion teams to go take on business challenges. And that's where we always talk about, hey, low code, that's like always a team sport. So you have your business users who are able to go and define business processes, go like simulate it very, very quickly using our low code, no code development tool set. You have your pro developers who are able to take the same applications and go at like a complex logic to it, like the logic which requires like professional development tools, like that's what the developers are able to go solve. And then you have your IT pro who are able to go manage all this process, ensure that people have right access, people are using the right set of data, and they are able to ensure that, hey, like my data is going at right place and it is always compliant. That's what IT pros in ensuring in an app organization. So this fusion team concept, like Gartner actually talks about as a prediction that by next year, like almost 50% of the organization across the world are gonna have these like fusion teams, these collaboration teams working together hand in hand, and not like any more silos, not like business throwing it up to IT to go solve it and IT throwing a solution back. Like they are gonna work together, and together they will solve the business challenges which have always marred this industry before. And with that, actually, we have talked a lot about the platform, but I wanted to give a quick highlight of what has really happened in platform in last 6 months, or you can say like last few weeks as well, because most of this stuff was announced during Ignite. So within Power Platform, we actually launched amazing capabilities in last like few months, and I wanted to give like a quick highlight reel of what all that is. So first and foremost is like the AI assisted app development. So this is the capability. It's called as Power Apps Ideas, where you can actually you don't even have to go write code. You don't even have to write formula. You can just tell AI powered by GPT-3 model that, hey, this is what I want to go build. This is the kind of data I want, and it will automatically generate the code for you. So that's like next level of like application development, like what probably will happen in future as like these things become more and more mature, where you are able to take an idea like which is in your head, like write it down in like natural language, and the code is automatically generated for you. So that's our first step in that direction, and we are like super excited about it. Similarly, another cool thing or another very, very important thing which we enabled is collaborative authoring. So when we were talking about fusion team scenario, one of the important thing is that fusion teams should be able to collaborate with each other. So commenting feature which is introduced in Power Apps, like is kind of enabling those scenarios, and there are like bunch of features which are actually launched in collaborative authoring. So commenting is one, being able to see like the presence of other users is another. In Canvas apps we are also doing like a merge kind of a concept within like application development, So that's like another piece which is solving this problem. And you'll see like a lot more investment in this area coming up. Then one of my favorite features, which is you have built, like if you have used Power Apps portals before, like they are used to go build websites for external users. And now you can take those websites and convert them into a mobile app, like a fully branded mobile app for your external consumers. So imagine like building an app for multiple platform and multiple devices is always very complicated. Now we are just making it like one click process. Similarly, in terms of mobile app, we also enabled the mobile apps for Power Apps. Like what that means is now you can actually take like an app which you have built in Power Apps and create like a fully branded mobile application for it, which you can then ship to your app store. So previously, when you were downloading like Microsoft Power Apps in order to go access your apps, now you don't have to do that. You can actually ship your company branded app and like have your employees, have your users like go use that. And like you can either ship like a single app, or you can even ship like hub apps, which are like linking to various other Canvas apps you have created. Another very interesting feature which we shipped is like a code component support on portal pages. So code components is like a pro developer way of creating like custom user experience in Power Apps. And now you can take those and place it on pages in a Power Apps portal. Now this is very interesting because previously code components were used to replace like forms, like the control inside a form on portals and in model-driven app. But now you can actually create your own form control yourself. Like you don't have to be reliant on the form which we ship. You can actually go create your own form control, own list control, own map control. Like sky is the limit. Plus, with enablement of Web API in portals, and the whole fact that if you have used the Web API object in code component, it will automatically translate to portals Web API. That kind of makes it super easy for you to develop a control, plus develop a control for all app types. So it's pretty much one control ruling it all. And last but not the least is the licensing improvements. As all the platforms are like maturing, are like creating like innovative functionality, the licensing models are also innovating. So one of the key things which we launched in this fall in October was pay as you go licensing for Power Apps, where you are like, you don't have to go buy licenses in advance. Like you basically pay for what you use, and you do it in a pay go manner where you just enable the app for usage, and as the usage comes up, like that's what you pay for. So this helps so much in scenarios where your app is used seasonally, where your app is targeted for a huge amount of user base but only few uses it every month. All of those scenarios are made possible by pay as you go licensing. Now, with that, I actually wanted to do a quick demo, and one of my favorite features is what I wanted to talk about, which is using Power Apps Portal as a mobile app. So, just to give a bit of more details, basically what we are enabling here is if you have created a portal, you will be able to convert it into a mobile app. The technology it uses is called Progressive Web App, or PWA. What that allows you to do is all these mobile apps which are created, you can not only ship them in app stores like any other regular app. They show up and feel and everything, look and feel and functionality is all similar to native apps, but you can also install them through browsers. So you don't have to really ship it to app store if you don't want to and you don't want to manage the process. You can have your users install them right within their browser. These are cross platform, cross browsers, which means that like you can use it on iOS, Android, Windows. You can even use it on Chromebooks. If you prefer Chromebooks, like you can actually ship them to Chrome Store, as well as you can install it directly from Chrome browser in Chromebook. We also offer an integration with PWA Builder, which is one of open source Microsoft property, which allows you to generate like APK packages, like app packages for various platforms. So this is like directly integrated into product. So you go to PWA Builder, you give them the URL of your portal, and they're just going to generate a APK for you. So I'm going to do like a very quick demo, given I'm kind of already running over my time. So this is a portal which I actually created some time back. Now, very important thing to notice here is like the reason I'm using an existing portal is because this capability will work even for a portal you created 4 years back. Like you will be able to go enable like progressive web apps on it. So this portal I have already created. Like it's pretty much like a normal site. It has bunch of pages. Like all these pages does some sort of functionality. I've ensured that my portal is like responsive, which means that as the screen size reduces, the portal also like reflows well. So what I have to do in my Power Apps Portal Design Studio is come here at the bottom. I have an option called Progressive Web App. I go here. It just has a button says Enable PWA. I turn it on. And the moment I did it, it has already enabled PWA for my portal. Now, what I can go and customize, and this is the whole branding capabilities, is I can provide the name for my application. So this is the name I have decided on. Like this is the name which will show up when once application is installed. This is the name which will show up when you ship it to app stores. I have a description. Again, same thing. This will show up once my app is installed, or like if you ship it on App Store. It has a starting page. Like this is the first page which will open up when you will open the app. So you can actually choose from any of the page you have created. I've chosen the contact us page, but you could have chosen like any other page as well. There's a splash screen. Like when you actually open an app, usually there's a splash screen which comes for a split second. You can customize the background of that splash screen, as well as you can add the app icon. An app icon not only shows up on splash screen, this is the icon of your app. Like once your app is installed, like this is the icon which will show up. So this is also very, very important. It requires a 512 by 512 icon. I have already uploaded one. And then last but not the least, you can also configure offline behavior. So we actually support read-only offline for static content. So all you have to do is click on this. You can choose what pages to enable for offline experience. I've enabled home and contact us, which means that at any point of time, if my app goes offline, if my device goes offline, these two pages will still be available for the users. So imagine scenarios like FAQ, if you're providing like videos or static content, that's where this will be like very, very useful for you to enable. There are few more things which you can do is there's a generic offline message which you can configure. So like once you come here, like it's going to show up an offline message. So this is for pages which are not available offline, plus for experiences which we don't enable for offline. You can configure what happens in those cases. And then last functionality which I talked about was, hey, how do I create like a application package out of this? That you can do from right this experience as well. So once you click on create an app package, it's going to take you to PWA Builder. And PWA Builder has this whole experience created only for portals. So we partnered with PWA Builder team within Microsoft. And what this PWA Builder can do for you is, let's say I want to publish my app on Android. All I have to do is click on the store package, look at few functionality, provide my like Android App Store key and stuff, and just say generate. The moment I do that, it's gonna go and generate a APK file for me. So it's gonna download a zip on my machine, and that zip contains my APK file, which I can then publish to App Store using like standard Android tools. So this is the whole capability of how you can take a website which you created like years back or which you created like yesterday and just go convert into mobile app in like few clicks. Like that's what we are enabling through that. So I'll save this and then I'll actually go to my real portal because I just enable all of this functionality. So I'm actually going to go navigate to my portal now. And when I load it, one of the things you'll see, and I'm on my desktop, so I'm not showing phone and everything because again, PWA can be installed also on desktop as well. It's not only phone, it's not only tablet, you can install it on desktop. So I come here, if I, in my Edge browser and same experience in Chrome, you'll see an option at the top saying, hey, this is an app which is available for install. You click on that. It's going to show you all the things we configured. So remember, like this is the name we had given for our app. This is the publisher which comes automatically through your URL. And when I click on install, it's going to download this application and install it on my Windows machine. And once I do that, like this app actually like opens up in like a Windows native screen prompt. Edge also give you like some interesting stuff. So I can pin it to taskbar, I can pin it to start menu, desktop shortcut, even like auto start. So like Win32 apps, which you can like auto start when you are starting your machine. You can do that with PWAs as well. So Portal will enable that functionality for you. So this is where like I'll just say allow, and you'll see that there's a desktop icon already created for my PWA here. So let's say if I close it and I go click on this, this is going to open my like PWA, which I just installed. Yep. So once I click on it, it actually opens the app. And if you remember, we had set up the contact us page as our like app homepage. So that's why the moment the app opens up, it takes us to contact us page. But then you can navigate it like any other application. And if you reduce your screen size, so this is what my experience on phone would have been. It would have shown us the contact page. Oops. And then within my contact page, it would have shown navigation, like how it will show up in like small screen sizes. And I can utilize all the functionality which I've enabled on my portal in this experience as well. So this looks like native app. This feels like native app. I have all the capabilities like native app. But the best part is it was built without writing any code in just few clicks. So that's the capability we are enabling with progressive web apps and portals. So with that, go back to my slide. This was pretty much it. Like this was the last slide I had, and this was the last demo I had. So I hope you guys liked it. Hopefully, like you guys all liked it, and I'm gonna give it back to Aro. But before that, I'm really thankful to Aro to give me this opportunity to present here. You guys have been a great audience, and I hope you like what all I had to say about low-code platform. And I hope you guys are gonna play around with Power Platform a bit more.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really amazing. The one which showed, it's very, very easy to install and amazingly done. But one question came, I think, from a user from YouTube about licensing part. About is licensing user specific or is for entire tenant?
So there are multiple pieces of licensing in Power Platform. If you're talking specifically about Power Apps, we offer two types of licensing for internal users. One is you can buy a license per user, or you can buy a license per app. So there are two types of license available. For portals, which are more for external facing audience, the licensing is capacity driven, which means if you are building anonymous sites, then you have to buy something called page views. If you are building authenticated sites, you have to buy something called logins. And both are like per portal. So you basically creating one website, you buy it for that. You're creating two, you buy it for two, like that kind of a model.
Thanks.
Perfect.
Yeah. So again, thanks, Dilip, and it was a really, really amazing session you provided, and at least a lot of people. I will next after this session, I will try this PowerWest portal, and I think Dhruvan has already put some videos on
Yes.
this. Yeah. So I learned a lot of things from Dhruvan as well. So I mean, that's a good thing that learning together is always an amazing stuff. But thanks again for again from valuable time. It's quite night there. So thanks again. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Dilip. This is wonderful keynote with excellent demo, and people from different social media handles are also appreciating that thing. So that's great.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for having me. And for everyone else, have fun. Like this is an amazing event. So please stay till the end, watch all the sessions. I'm pretty sure it's going to be shared as well. So Aro and the team is doing an amazing job. So I'm hoping you all will enjoy the whole event.
Thank you
so much.
Dilip. Thanks for your kind words. Okay.